All right, White Rose, what's up? What's going on? What up? Kyle, Mike Plays, what's going on, guys? Clean lens makes for a better shot. I have to clean my lens. Tengo que limpiar el lente. Cool. We're gonna make some food. Hold on, let me clean the lens. There we go. Cool. All right. I'm back, bro. Cool, man. Cool. I'm glad you are back. Thank you for coming back, guys. We're gonna cook. We're gonna make pozole verde. I'm using a different type of tomatillo here. So, hopefully you guys can see that. What's up, Sir Vicious? What's up, Sir Vicious? I'm cooking, man. I'm getting ready for Christmas, bro. I'm making a quick sauce, and then maybe I'll catch a game in a bit, man. Sir Vicious. ¿Conoces Tepatitlán? No conozco Tepatitlán. All right. It's for the Instagram. Cool. Okay, story. Live. What the fuck? All right. So, starting off simple. Pozole verde, tomatillo, pasilla chilies. Let's go. Dude, I think they fucked up this whole thing, man.
Fucked up what?
Huh. Okay, wait. They made it better, actually. We're gonna have to sharpen the knife first, though. Fuck. Oh, crap. What the hell happened? What the fuck? How did that change? Do you speak Spanish, bro? Yes, of course. No te veo. I don't know, don't ask me. Who wants to 1v1 me? Aussie Studio, why are you crying, bro? Le pongo guajillo. ¿Qué es guajillo? No sé qué es guajillo. Le pongo le pongo un chingo de hierbas. Tomatillo, pasilla, jalapeño. Pero necesito que echarle filo a este. I need to give this a nice little sharpen. Chile seco. No le echo guajillo. Puro fresco, pura verdura fresca. Casi no le echo. Voy a traerme un cargador. Yeah, do that. Taking a shot for you, Sir Vicious. Put some beer on it and sauce. Of course, we're going to put a lot of fucking beer on it, dude. We're going to make it with 100% beer. Okay. What the hell? Why does it do that? What the fuck, dude? Like, when did that happen? It's fucking stupid. Why does that happen, bro? Que te vaya bien. Que te vaya bien. Why does that fucking happen? Oh, maybe because I have to put it in video. There we go. Maybe this is better. Maybe it won't shut off now. ¿Qué canción es, bro? No sé cuál es la canción, pero que te vaya bien. Que te vaya bien. Que te vaya bien. All right, that's good. Okay. There we go. Nice little filter on me. Before we start cutting, we're going to sharpen our knife. I gotta have your other part. Okay, there it is. Nice. Okay. That's so stupid. I hate that it does that, dude. I hate that it fucking does that, bro. Why the fuck does it do that? Maybe go to Instagram camera. It might be better. Instagram. And then camera. Okay. Story. Live. There we go. We'll just keep it there. I saw your tacos on Instagram. Fuck yeah, bro. Add some fucking... Make it some hearts, bro. Nice. I'll take a shot to that. My Instagram? It's the same as Omelette Arcade, Ozzy. Nice, that's looking good. A little bit more. Close, close, close. Ooh. It's getting there. Damn. Just a little bit more. Cool. And we flip it over. Smoothing out the sharpen. Nice. It could be sharper, but whatever. Got no money on my card. When do you prepare a carne asada? Kush shows Jen. Jack wants to see you. You want to see? You want to see Jen? Stop capping, everyone knows. No, he has a girl, man. He has a girl. He's good. Holy shit. Alright, here we go. We got that sharpened. Let's start working on some tomatillos. Really quick. Gotta get this done kind of fast. Knife is sharp. Awesome. Got a nice little filter there. Give me some snow. Yeah, let it snow. This is so weird. I bet you like Jen. I have a girlfriend. My mamacita. I know everything, Jack. We know everything, Jack. Okay. This takes a long time, guys. This is why I didn't want to do this alone. There we go. Perfect. All right, so they're not as... They smell good. They smell really good. It's always sunny in southern Houston. Over here in Texas, we say let it burn. Yeah. This is a Texan recipe right now that I'm making. It's just gonna take a long time, dude. Look at how tiny these little fuckers are, bro. Ooh, this is gonna be. This is gonna take me a long. Look, dude, I have to peel. That's one, okay? Look at how many I have to peel, bro. I have so many of these, and there's more bags over there. There's way more bags. So wish me luck. I think I maybe have to wet these first, huh? I'm gonna see if wetting it makes it easier. It does. You gotta wet them. Okay, now I know. Alright. Yeah, it makes it way much easier when I wet it. Alright. I haven't eaten in 5 days since I seen God. Zoro, I haven't gotten your message. right back, guys. See, it's not turning off anymore. Don't get too drunk, Kush. Chill. I am, dude. Do it for the people. The pozole is for the people, bro. Oh, what up, Lycus? Good thing my family farm isn't Google Maps since it's 10 miles from the border. That's good. Alright. One by one. This is going to take a while. Just going to drop them all here. I'm using a small tomatillo. I forgot what they call them. Tomatillos milpas, I think. And they are sweeter than the regular tomatillo. Nice little life hack. Wetting them, it makes it easier to peel. I didn't know about that. Baby tomatoes, guys. This is like a cousin of the tomato. Busty Undertaker eyes. Fuck yeah. Give myself a headache right now with that shit. Pretty drunk. Zorro says Mexican. I'm gonna cook something you just gave me the vibes, Kush. Alright, dude, cook it up. I made this Mexican food for their Christmas. It's a big ass bowl of pozole. This is pozole, dude. And we're using a different type of tomatillo. I never used this tomatillo before. It's a small one. Less acidic than the big one. So I got a lot of them. Fuck it. Oh, this one's all rotten. Fuck that. Then I out chicken beef and all that good Mexican shit. Yeah, you know it, dude. Pizza's in the microwave. I inspired you, bro? To put pizza in a microwave? Hell yeah. I can go to sleep happy, bro. Thanks. I did something positive. Rocket League. Rocket League. I can't say fuck Fortnite, but to what I've seen, it doesn't really look good. But I still yet to try it, so I never know. Never know. Might like it. Might like Fortnite. But Rocket League is the best on PC. Rocket League is the best. playing it for fun, like PUBG. That's cool. Then we put that spicy salsa, and that shit's bomb. You know it, dude. It's gotta be a little spicy, bro, for it to be Mexican. Boho Stitch. Yeah, I've never used these before. I don't know, man. It smells the same to me. It doesn't smell like tarty or acidic, like they said. I would play COD more than any other game. Yeah. Some tortillas and beer, and yeah, that's delicious. That's the life right there. Shit. There we go. Get a little zoom in. Like that. Oh yeah. That purple means it's dank. It's ready to smoke. With some tamales. You know it, bro. Tortillas, tamales. We're getting down. I think I bought too much of everything, like always. I bought too many of these. I always do that. Fuck it, I'm gonna use all of it. We got toy and we try to eat that shit. It was a ripoff. What? What do you mean? We got a toy and then we try it and shit was a ripoff. Tamales, bro. That transition shit's freaking dope. Wait, what the fuck? Okay. Alright. Come on, do that crazy thing. Yeah, there you go. That's weird. I need a lot of these little guys. That's why I bought so many. I didn't know how much I needed, so I bought so many. Never tried these before. Boo Fortnite. Damn. That bad, huh? I never played it. I can't say that. Servicius says, yummy. Yes, dude. Delicioso. It's gonna be roasted with some of these. A lot of onion, a lot of garlic. I got a lot of peeling to do, man. I better get started. A lot of peeling. Fuck. Okay, don't zoom on that. Alright, there we go. Yeah. This takes a long time. This is the part of the cooking they don't tell you about. Oh, you want to cook? Yeah, you gotta do this, though. Fucking boring. Nah, it's not boring to me. I love doing this stuff, man. I love freaking working with vegetables. It's starting to get spicy, though. Fuck. Hurting my fucking thumb right here. Do you got potatoes? Not on this dish. Doesn't call for potatoes, man. Calls for onion, garlic, all these herbs. You'll see the herbs right now. I just gotta get this in. Damn, look at this guy. He's all purple. It's a dingleberry. It's badass. Fucking bomb with potatoes. Just add potatoes, bro? Hell yeah. Why not? Just fucking throw them in there, dude. This shit would be badass. We gotta make the ultimate dish. We will make the ultimate dish. I'm gonna fucking... I don't know, man. We'll make like an underground oven pig. A whole pig. Stuff it underground in an underground oven. All the sauces, all the good stuff. We gotta make something good. We gotta do a lot of this too. Fucking Chile. Sorry, you're hilarious, bro. You know what you like. Not almost there. Not almost there. Oh, this is pretty dry. Oh, no, it's not. Fucking crazy. So much of this shit. Take a rip. Oh, I know I will. I will, bro. Did you already go to the shop, Birdie? Did you already go to the shop to get a grab? Because Christmas is tomorrow, bro. 100 more to go. You're going to get... Take it easy with the beer. You might get drunk like I did yesterday. Oof. Yeah, I might get drunk, dude. Cheers, man. I got these cool shot glasses. Jen got these today. Fucking little mason jar shot glasses. They're so sick. You drank 30? You drank... You drank 30 beers? No way. That's insane, man. That's a lot of beers. I don't think I've ever drank that much. The most I've drank was probably like 10 to 14. I think 14 beers. I think I've drank 14 beers once. Ooh. Don't drink 14 beers, bro. That's too much beer. World record? No, it's not a world record. I know for a fact 30 beers is not a world record, bro. 30 beers is basic. Some people I know, bro, 30 beers is basic. Yeah. 30 beers is like, that's in a day, bro. Like 30 beers is like 24 hours. I can drink 40 to 49. Then my vision gets screwed. My dad drank like 100 beers and he passed out for 3 days. I think your dad died, bro. I think your dad had alcoholic coma or something. Birdie, I know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to say that. We used to do that in an hour, dude. 30 beers in an hour. That's bad. That's fucking hard. Imagine 30 beers in an hour? Nah. My drink. That's crazy. 49 beers, Captain? That's a lot of beers, man. So many of these little fuckers, dude. I don't think I need... excuse me. I don't need that many, bro. I don't need that many. That was disgusting. I'm so sorry. A shit ton of whiskey and bourbon, so 150 of each. The last one, and then I would eat. I would pass out. Doggo from YouTube. What's up, man? This is nuts. Some moonshine for the sake of God. Sorry, I haven't been watching your streams. We were busy for Christmas. I'm busy right now, man. But, dude, I feel you. It's Christmas time, bro. Bunch of shit going on. Everyone's... fucking traffic is crazy right now. People are so, like, anxious to go places. Crazy. So my dad sits in a chair drinking beer, and then he passes out, and the chair flips over and hits the tables beside him. And then the tables fucking flip. Wow, your dad drinks a lot of beer then. I'm immune from drinking so much alcohol? Captain, no way. You're not immune. Cannot believe. No one's immune to the power of alcohol, dude. The power of alcohol will compel you, bro. It will take over. Sounds like a horror story, Zorro. Your dad drinks a lot. That's a clip from a movie. You just described a clip from a movie. Alcohol is very bad for the body. It drags your body. Like, your body's like running on water, and then once you take that alcohol, your body just goes so slow. But yeah, sometimes it's good for you. Yeah. Sometimes alcohol could be good for you. Like, sometimes you need to relax. You know? A lot of tension. Ozzy, it's not good for your health. Bro, it's not good for your health, bro. Like, no te pases, dude. You're going way too far. I wish it was good for your health. If this shit was good for your health, dude, cheers. But you know what is good for your health? And that could get you fucked up? Kombucha. Fermented kombucha has alcohol. And it's good for your health. And then you get fucked up. Motherfucker, I only drink wine? Damn. You fancy. That's good stuff. I love wine, bro. I got me a box of Cabernet Sauvignon from Kirkland's Best. 3 liters, dude. I love wine. I love wine in a bag. Wine in a bag. Don't give me whiskey when I'm around guns. I don't want to ask why, Captain. I'm afraid to ask why no whiskey when you're around guns. Yeah, 3 liters, dude. Look at this. Stays fresh for 30 days after opening. 3 liters is equal to 4 750 mils. So what we have here, my guy, is 3 liters of concentrated 13% alcohol. Straight from the vineyards of California somewhere. Can't be bad. If you throw vintage on anything, it just looks fancy, and that's why I bought it. I'm a sucker for the word vintage. If it's vintage, I'll fucking take 2. Nah, it was a good price. It was like $14 at Costco. I wish you could help me fucking prep, dude. I have so much, bro. Bullshit. Look it. And then the garlic, and then the poblanos. Fucking bullshit, bro. Come through, bro. Fucking posada. Let's have a posada. Now, if anything, for like, we'll set something up and we'll get something going, Brady. Because this shit. 8 hours later, this might take about 4 hours, bro. And I'm going slow. And I've never peeled these before. I didn't know how tedious these little fuckers were. They're tedious, bro. They take a long time. About 900, dude. You want to see how many I have left? Let me bring the other bags. I'm gonna make them all. That's how much I have left. And they're this small. They're this fucking small, man. Fuck you. But I bet they're so fucking good, dude. I bet they're so sweet. They're not acidic. It's gonna complement the pork. Oh, man. I think we might... I think I found the new recipe here. New and improved. New recipe. Milpa tomatillos. They don't smell acidic. They smell like flowers, bro. This smells like fucking flour. Kyle Patak says, face reveal. I don't know how to feel about that, bro. Dude, there is going to be enough for an army, bro. It's going to be a lot. I hope 15 pounds of pork is enough, man. I hope. I fucking hope. I hope 10 gallons of soup is enough, dude. I hope. I really hope. I want to give it to people, you know? I don't want to keep it at home. I bought containers. I'll show you, Birdie. One sec. Well, I don't have containers. Okay, so the containers are in the car, but basically, these are the container lids. It's about that size. And imagine it being like that. It's 16 ounces. It's a 16-ounce container. I'm going to wrap them up in saran wrap. And then get the trimmings on the side. But yeah, that's gonna be my gift for whoever wants a soup, a pozole. So that's all I could afford. There was a man in the Titanic that drank 10 beers, and it was hella cold outside. So he drank one more, and then he dropped some chairs, and the Titanic was sinking. The man was not even cold, bro. It was -0. I fucking believe that. You get drunk enough, bro, you can walk on fire. Birdie, for sure. I'm fucking taking you some, dude. With some lechuga on the side, rábanos, limes, onion, just the whole thing. Make it a fucking all-in-one combination. Combo. I'll give you the combo. Combo number 1, bro. Because that's the only thing we have. Give me some PUBG UC. Kyle, you have to have more respect for me. Don't beg for UC. Give me UC. My mouth just came deep. I have busted for head? What the hell are you talking about, Cat Mafia? What? He was 100 plus. He was that hot. Yeah, I know, man. Alcohol gets you not feeling things sometimes. I think people back in the day, when they had to get something cut off, they would just slam a couple of beers, and that was it. That's creepy. That's weird. That's more like... That's what I like. Merry Christmas, everybody. Chile verde. No chile verde. Pozole verde. You're not top 5 in PUBG. I won't believe it. Shive is my name. I have a big head. Oh my gosh. You're not top 5, bro. We don't believe it. Get out of here with you being top 5 on PUBG. Fucking screenshots, and we will believe you. You're such a liar, though. First you ask for UC, you ask for UC, and then you tell me to come and check. You're an idiot. No thoughts allowed, no spamming. I'm top 5 in big heads. Are you saying you're a genius, Shive? I'm not lying, I'm top 5. Captain America's right. You read that comment. I'm top, go fuck yourself. I like that comment. I like that, Captain. Cat Mafia, what are you, some kind of genius? Kind of big brain? Huh? Yes. Alright, dude. You're a freaking genius, then. I believe Cat Mafia more than I believe Kyle right now. Kyle's saying he's top 5 on PUBG. I don't believe it. Cat Mafia saying he's a genius. I kind of believe that. Just gonna believe that one better. I'm just an ass. I'm not the best. I'm not the best at PUBG. I have fun, dude. How about that? I have a lot of fun playing PUBG. It's a lot of fun. That's it. That's all I could say about myself. Oh, PUBG? I like to have fun. That's all I say about it. I never say, oh, I'm pretty fucking good. Because, nah, I'm just not. How many wins? Kyle, life is a metaphor. I have no brain, but I have 20 billion IQ. How is that even possible? You have no brain, you have 20 IQ? What's it like your brain runs on the cloud or something? Uploaded your brain to the cloud. Alright, here we go. Another thing that I'm going to do with this is I'm going to strain it, dude. For the first time, I'm going to strain it. So you don't get any of that. So like so it's clear, dude. You know? It just like it makes sense to strain all this shit afterwards and just make it the flavors of the chile, the garlic, all that, just that flavor. And then the main ingredient being the hominy and our delicious pork. Fucking love pork, dude. Cat Mafia is such a smart guy, he does not wear glasses. Do I have to explain how kids are made? Don't explain that. We don't explain that, dude. People just have to know. Cat Mafia, Aussie Studio says, you make teachers answer your questions. Boom. Mic drop. Mic drop. Cat Mafia, officially a frickin' genius. Fuck. This chat's going ham, guys. This is crazy. I don't know how to make videos on Instagram anymore. Reels? Is that what they call it now? I don't like the new update. Oh, look. 30 seconds. Make it a minute. Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. No. The fuck, bro? Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right. All right. We're doing pozole verde saso with tomatillos poblanos. Just the beginning. Is that not it? No, it's not what I want. The fuck? Story. Boomerang. That's stupid, bro. I think they're called reels now. Anyways, we're doing the reel, and pozole verde is what's cracking. Instagram was a lot cooler for recording this stuff. You could clip things in a way where it made it fun to look at, but now I think they're called a reel? What the fuck is a reel, dude? Okay. How about this? Anyways, we're doing the... What? Nah. That's fucking stupid, bro. The new video thing on Instagram sucks. Dick. Oh, this sucks. I used to be able to like edit right here, like on the spot. What happened to that? Story, post, recent. Select multiple. Maybe that's what I'll have to do. I have to do this. Nope. Fucked up. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're doing a pozole verde. That is just the beginning. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of tomatillos, pasillas that need to be cut, garlic that needs to be peeled. Quite a bit to go. This is just the beginning of pozole verde. Okay. Edit. They make me do an extra step, bro. That's not cool. Instagram was so cool. Yeah, that's not cool, bro. Yeah, new Instagram update blows. Guys, follow me on Instagram. Bernie626 knows the Big Mac recipe. I don't do push-ups. I push the earth down. Cat Mafia makes history go by fast. Damn, dude. Can I play the blase? He's making a fucking Insta story. I was trying to. They fucked it up. They don't know how to... They fucked up the Instagram. It's no longer cool. Kush is a grandson of Gordon Ramsay? No. I have his cookbook, though. Pretty good. No, we don't want your shitty UC scam. Yeah, dude. Do you have a mini frame? I do have that one. I know what you mean, by the way. Kyle, you're gonna get put in timeout, little human. Too late, Kyle. Fuck off. Kicked. I pushed the earth down. I'll do push-ups. What we doing after food? We're doing nothing but food, and then I'm gonna go to bed. You know how long this is gonna take me, bro? I gotta fucking finish. What time is it? 12? Damn. I'm fucking up. I'm out of touch. Sleep, Kelly. It's 2 in Texas. We'll just go to sleep in PUBG, dude. Bro, I 4B won a team and they raged because they were 0 points and I was 50 points. Damn, Icing God. That's hard. That's fucking hard. Aussie Studio, you know it. Cat Mafia is getting an iPad for Christmas. I think Santa Claus promised him an iPad. Pretty dope. It's 10:10 here in Egypt. Icing God, 10:10 in the morning. That's awesome. Can you, Icing God, can you post like a picture of like the sun or something? I don't know. It's 3:10 in North Carolina, but I'm in Louisiana. Okay? It's 12:11 in the USA, dude. Yup. There you go, Icing God. You got a PUBG player there. He's a damn fine PUBG player. It's a damn fine PUBG player. Bold. It's 2 a.m. in the USA. Yep. Some places it's 2 hours ahead. Like Central, Midwest is 2 hours ahead from the South. From the West. From California, New York is 3 hours ahead. So yeah, we have places with different time zones. Searle says, hell nah. We in the West. West, man. Vampire, welcome to the stream, Vampire. Making food. This is a weird filter, by the way. Let's switch it up. Let's get a little bit more merry. Let's go to this one. So is this better? What's this all about? Hello, hello, hello? What's my... Nothing's happening? No, I don't know what the hell this is. Oh, this is awesome. This is more like electrifying cooking. Yeah. This expired stuff is ticking on me. What? We in Earth. Stupid. Gray, such a sad frame. I know, it's always very sad to see Gray in a picture. Oh, I'm actually getting hungry. The more I do this, so much to do, dude. Fuck. 3 Coronas left. It's fair. Cheers, man. H57 Savages? Damn. I changed my name on the 25th. Alright, cool, dude. Now I know your name. Shy will now be known as H57 Savage. Corona beer, not the virus. Yeah, remember, Corona beer, man. Corona was just a beer at one point, and then it turned into a virus. That's how it goes. Oh, dude, you know what I forgot? I fucking forgot cilantro, bro. Damn it. I forgot cilantro. I forgot cilantro. I'm too drunk to drive. I can't go. I can't go right now, but tomorrow. Send Jen and wake her up? Nah, dude. I forgot cilantro. That's all good. I'll just do it tomorrow. It's gonna be a big... This is just the prep, bro. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, man. Tough when I get my iPad, we can play. Yeah, dude. Get the pillow and wake her up. Nah, bro. Because we can't. Fill a bucket and fill it with cold water? You guys are jerks, bro. Can't do that to her. Funny though. if I don't think I could do that. No. But it's funny. WrestleMania her and wake her up? Damn. Stone Cold Steve Austin? Just to wake her up? WrestleMania her? Fuck. Okay. $1,000 more to go. 1,000 more to go. About 1,000. Look at these little guys, man. It's freaking crazy. And 3 p.m. PUBG. What? WrestleMania, haha. Or play WWE War 2 Air Raid Sirens. Turn the volume to the max. Dude, Air Raid Air Raid Sirens are freaking terrifying. You guys ever hear an Air Raid siren, be running for cover ASAP. Tomorrow is the 24th, so It will give you PTSD. Yeah. It will definitely give us PTSD, dude. Jesus. This thing is freaking crazy, man. So many of these little guys. You're out of touch. Mexican Day 24, hell yeah. It's a Mexican Day? What are you talking about? Hey, Zorro, are you Mexican? I'll be getting married tomorrow to Nikki, right? You're gonna marry Nikki? Not who you're gonna marry? Do an ultra flip brutal fatality on Jen and wake her up. Damn. You went Mortal Kombat on me, bro. Damn. Yeah, you are. You're Mexican. Okay, cool, man. That's awesome. What part? You said you're LA? Are you, like, what part of LA are you at? Angela Carce, like you're real? What? Look at this little guy. Look at this. What I have to peel. Freaking baby tomatillo, bro. It's a freaking baby tomatillo. These things are tiny. Fucking crazy. Not that, Nikki. We eat 12 pounds of food? Damn. On 1,000, what? So you eat 12 pounds of food and 100,000 liters of alcohol? That's crazy. Right. All the Mexicans get hall drunk. Yeah, they do, dude. Mexican parties involve a lot of drinking. Like today. Cheers. Exactly, dude. Vodka? What do you know about vodka? That's the party we went to last year. It was packed. 1,200 people, dude? That's a lot. An action. Not yet, comrade. It's not the time. You should drink moonshine. It's good for your health. Oh my gosh. Are you going to link us, Zara? You're going to link us to the song? Try Kentucky Moonshine and see how long he lasts. Damn. No thanks. I tried Mexican Moonshine. I blew fire out of my mouth. That was insane. There's a shadow by your window. Be careful. Shab, I think you're messing with me, bro. I'm not gonna believe that, man. Bro, I'm getting hungry. What the fuck? I'm gonna eat some peanuts. Pretty good, Carlos.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
Yeah, tired and good.
Yeah, that's it. You work tomorrow?
Oh, fuck. I gotta get up at 4.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get this done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get up at 4. Get ready. I'm hoping that we can, because only me and this one guy. And I think the
everyone has called off.
Well, they have the COVID.
So many people have COVID?
Huh?
That many people have COVID?
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
He said while I was time, I don't know if I told him, but
You said something about the
like Adrian. He got a letter, right? He got a letter saying that he's 76 and he got a COVID.
Oh, okay.
He never took the test.
So they're just sending letters like you're just.
Yeah. So he goes, okay, here, this is my paper. Send it to work and you're out for 2 weeks.
Nice.
So he's been off.
People are milking it, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's more than anything. I think people are just milking it.
Yeah, I was surprised when he got the letter like that. He got the email telling him, you're on for 2 weeks. You took it, you've never taken it. So So he printed out that email and he sent it to work and we'll give him the 2 weeks.
Saca la bolsita.
You know. And then I think the manager, she wants to leave early because she's saying we can probably, what we call 5 now, work our 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So like 10 o'clock we're out.
That's good.
I'm hoping tomorrow we can do that.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Hopefully we can do that.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. Well, today is already Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm. Merry Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas
Merry
Eve.
Christmas Eve.
That was fast. This year flew, bro.
Yeah.
Scary. How?
COVID
COVID made everything short, bro.
made everybody sick.
COVID made everyone sick.
It's like my friend, she keeps posting because she's got the COVID
Mm-hmm.
and she's got 2 inhalers.
Mm-hmm.
She's got, I think, like 4 or 6 6 like pills
Mm-hmm.
that she's got to take. 6 pills and 2 inhalers. And she put that COVID's no joke.
Mm-mm.
I was like, damn. It's because her dad had the COVID. Her
Mhm.
dad almost died. She died. I'm hoping her son don't get it because he says he suffered with big time asthma a lot. That guy gets sick. Change the weather, boom, he's sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I hope he doesn't. Hope he doesn't. Hope he doesn't. Alright.
All right, dude. Have a good night, man.
You too, huh?
Yeah. Merry Christmas, bro.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
From a distance,
Yeah, huh?
I want to give you a hug.
Yeah.
That's weird. I never would have thought of that. Oh man, I'm getting tired. Tribe, I'm getting tired. I like Arab, dude. What the hell? Come on, don't do that. Dude, I needed a snack. I needed a snack so much. I heard I look Indian. A lot of people say Jen looks a little Indian too, bro. Kind of, yeah, I know what you mean though. I'm like, Middle Eastern, what the fuck? Here we go, here we go. I need a little snack, man. Yeah. I was going black. I was going dark right now for a second.
It just started snowing here, so that's why you get frozen. Can you sing some of the duets from Frozen? You know, no, I don't. I actually have never seen that. I've been spared. I know children in the family when they watch that Frozen movie, my son might have even seen it, but I don't think I've seen it. Can you guys hear him? Let's do a sound check. Can you guys hear Richard, or are you only hearing me because he's frozen?
Ozzy's not Indian, dude. He's Mexican.
I'm coming through good for you, right? Am I coming through good? Yeah, you're clear on my Zoom. You have a strong connection, so I'm trying to figure out why you're all frozen. Is it just that you're drawn to YouTube? Maybe YouTube's getting prejudiced against me. Now you're moving. You're not frozen. Alright, cool. I'm glad to be thought out like Han Solo and Return of the Jedi. Does that mean I can be Lando Calrissian, baby? I was hoping you'd break out some of those tonight. I heard you do a little McConaughey last night. Yeah, a little Richard. Yeah, I might do a little bit of magic if you always see this film?
Yeah, about New Year's Eve, right about that, dude.
I know what you're talking about. Yes. No, it's just called The Gentleman.
Put on some Pink Floyd.
So it's,
Yeah. Fucking Into the Prison, bro. Oh, what the fuck? LGBTQ pride. What the fuck? Kind of Into the Floyd. I was going for Into the Floyd. Guten Tag, man.
Schlock impersonations that I always do. Do you know you can build a career of impersonations? Yeah, there's a lot of people who have done about it.
It's gonna take a long time, man.
I don't think your impressions are hacky either. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you do a whole bunch, and you're able to do them on demand, like when you're hosting on InfoWars and stuff. That just throw down. That's when it's really interesting, man. That's when you're growing and challenging yourself to do it on demand.
You're Italian and Mexican?
Well, if you don't know, dear audience, we have with us one of the premier researchers, documentary filmmakers, producer, author, the one, the only Richard Grove. You can find his work, of course, over at tragedyhope.com. I'm trying to get your full thing squeezed. Not your
So
your full
stupid,
name
bro.
squeezed onto the screen.
What the fuck is this, bro?
So now we can see your name. There we go. So yes, everybody, Richard Grove, tragedyhope.com. I know a lot of my audience is familiar with you. Maybe some are not.
What the fuck?
Tell us about you, what you do beyond what I just said. But let's start with, I grew up in Western Pennsylvania.
Intersex pride? What? What? Guys, don't believe this shit.
I was successful to a point, and then I became a whistleblower.
Gender pride.
There was history behind the things in the terrain that I was encountering that wasn't provided to me in school.
What the
I started
fuck?
the first time in my life becoming a voracious reader of things.
Gender fluid pride? You fucking kidding me?
High school, and I took years of Latin so I could do better on the SAT and that sort of the same thing that everyone's told. And if it wasn't for me learning some skills in college, I wouldn't have been
Sucks,
successful
man.
in corporate
Instagram's going downhill.
working my way through school paid off because I gained some skills that were useful later. And then into the research, that's when I really got to apply any aptitude that
I like this filter.
Because I didn't have a lot of books before I started encountering things off the terrain. I thought I knew what was going on. I had a degree. I was making money. What more do I need to know? I assumed I knew everything, and then I started.
You think Jen is your cousin? I'm sure Jen is your cousin, bro.
We were taught about, and then I started to try to use the internet I was really incredulous, and that drove my learning. But it was incredulous enough that I didn't believe the internet didn't provide the source material I needed. So I started digging into mentions of books and trying to get the.
How does that guy have his own filter?
That started me on a whole trend for many years. Was like I wanted to read the first edition of Andrew Carnegie's Triumph of Democracy or Woodrow Wilson. There's these quotes that circulate about these things. And a lot of the quotes that people, they say they're debunked. I'm like, well, if you read 8 pages and you summarize it to somebody else, though,
General Chicken Soup.
It's just not an accurate, real quote.
That sounds good.
Verbatim in the book, So there was a lot of nuance to be added, and from there I needed an output. So I started podcasting in 2006. I started making films in 2008. I launched an online community in 2009, and all those things are still going on today. And that book right there that you got, Tragedy and Hope, The History of the World in Our Time, you know quite well about that, Jake. It's a long, long series dissecting that book. I discovered that in 2004 through a video on, I think it was Google Video, I had the DVD before it was on there. It's called Brotherhood of Darkness by Dr. Stanley Monti. And I didn't know about the story. I was like, I don't know. I don't believe this guy. I wasn't into believing things. I wanted to look up and see for sure. And sure enough, it was worse than what he said. There was a lot more history to it than he was able to articulate. So I was glad that I was a little incredulous. And then I looked. And I find that to be a really good learning pattern to open up and see things that heretofore I probably assumed about. And the assumptions and beliefs, I think we can just fill with experience and knowledge.
I think, I saw that documentary years ago on Google. I didn't really pay much attention to that book. I remember him mentioning the Anglo-American establishment as well. And I think it was probably around 2005 or 6. I heard Alex, always mentioning the book. And I thought, well, I'm just going to have to eventually get the book and read it. I remember checking it out from my university library because I was doing undergrad work and was a research assistant. and actually got, that was in my graduate period, but I got booted out of class for having Tragedy and Hope in class one time. I was so engrossed, I was reading it. The professor said, why are you reading that book in my class? And we got into a big debate, and that ended up getting me booted out of the class. So he was a diehard globalist, liberal type. So didn't go over very well, but I was grateful to Alex's recommendation. Of course, you, my site, treasurehope.com.
2 bags left, man. I'm gonna go a little faster though, man. Fuck this.
As I told you 5 years ago, you had a lot of
it's getting fucking late.
Films that you had made. I thought that the documentary that you had made initially about psychological warfare, social engineering, that was great. Your subsequent interviews that you did with William Binney, that was great. So Richard has done a tremendous amount of work. John Taylor Gatto. I mean, you've done so much stuff. I totally can even remember all the different, excellent piece of content that you put out. But anybody in the audience, if you're not familiar with Richard now, is going to definitely make yourself, familiarize yourself with his work. So maybe just a little bit briefly about Tragedy and Hope. What's your take on the book? I know we both covered it, but how would you summarize the importance of this book to maybe people that are new to it or have heard about it? Why is this such a big deal?
It's such a big deal for a couple reasons. First off, I'll say that I don't recommend everyone read that book or read that book first, at least. It's 1,200 pages or so, depending on, if you have a reprint, there's a couple bootlegs out there, have different page numbers. But essentially, there's a lot of words in there to hide what he's actually telling you on very few pages throughout the book. So a better place to start is Joe Plummer's Tragedy and Hope 101, or a book like Lord Milner's Second War, and Sean Stone's New World Order, A Strategy of Imperialism, which is, you can get the Kindle of it, but it's way sold out. And then the Anglo-American Establishment. So let's start with Quigley and the Anglo-American Establishment, which is the first book he wrote in 1948. It was the last book he published. It was published posthumously in 1981 by Stephen Zalbenga, who also wrote The Lost Science of Money. So Quigley is this, he hits the
I'm listening to a podcast right now, Fausto.
Studies and verifies all this stuff that's been said. So he had a manuscript in 1948, the Anglo-American Establishment, and he knew if he published it, it would end his career and possibly his life. So he didn't want to put it out, and that's why upon his death it was published. So 20 years later, after he's in the archives of the Council on Foreign Relations, and he has like the Anglo-American establishment's own records, he writes this big book in 1966 called Tragedy and Hope, A History of the World in Our Time. And it goes out there, everybody's buying it, sells out, and then he's told, and there's interesting references to how he's told that the book has no demand and there's not going to be a second printing. Really, what Macmillan Publishing did was destroyed the printing plates so they couldn't make a second publishing, and they took the second half of the book and they remarketed it as a new book called The World Since 1939, A History, or something like that, right? So they literally take the second half of the book, which you don't understand what it means.
I'm gonna roast them in the oven. I'm gonna put them in the oven.
So I do have an artifact of that.
But I'm gonna do it with all this other stuff.
Just like verbatim,
And then I'm
the second
gonna
part of Tragedy and Hope.
blend it, dude.
So then,
And after my new thing is gonna be strain it. I'm gonna strain this afterwards.
Edmund Walsh, School of Foreign Service. So he trained diplomats, he trained spies, he trained people like Bill Clinton, who was a Rhodes Scholar. Quigley himself was mentored by a Rhodes Scholar, and these are all people in the vein of Cecil Rhodes who want to bring America back into the opium-dealing British Empire. So that's the main goal. So Quigley writes this book, he gets it out there, they censor it, they tell him, and he says in the interview that they lied to him. So that's a conspiracy right there. The people that Quigley's working with, they lied to him, you know? And then they asked about Lionel Curtis, who's a main figure in Anglo-American establishment, and that's where Quigley says, we can't talk about him, we'd lose our career or worse, and he says, turn off the tape recorder, and the end of the meeting happened. That's the end of the interview. So it's an interesting story, and then at some point, Monteith had bootlegged it, and then at some point, some people took a couple key pages out of it. Though all the places that I've checked, Amazon with the GSG Publishing 2004, the republished, the one you have right there, that has all the pages, and the carolquigley.net site, also the e-copy, the PDF now has all the pages, though it didn't at one time, and we were like, hey, what's up? And they're like, oh, we didn't know, and we like, okay, here's the whole thing, and they published it. So most everything you get out there now is uncensored. And then there's key passages in there, of course, which are especially illuminating. I think that, like, when I read pages, like, it was 50 and 52, where he's talking about Montague Norman, the Bank of England, the Rothschild family. That's where it became real for me, is when I saw it in Tragedy and Hope, because before then it was just like an internet rumor. Yeah. And I was like, I went to 5 years of a good university, and if they existed, I would have known. You know, I read the Wall Street Journal. You know, somebody would have told me along the way, but no. And then there's a deep history to that family, and so I started acquiring their biographies and autobiographies, and then started reading into that history that we don't know about.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the recommendations, stuff that you talked about, kind of launched me, Corbett as well, Alex, into really getting my hands on the physical copies. This was something that you said a long time ago that I always jive with, because it was kind of obvious to see, if you'd read books like Fahrenheit 451, where they were going to try to go with digitizing everything and people not actually reading books. And this was something that, again, was part of all these dystopian stories. We knew they were going to get rid of books, and so that's why it's so crucial to have the physical copies, is that they probably will be some kind of valuable commodity in the future, if they're even allowed. So yes, I embarked on that same kind of a job. I've always loved books, but I decided I'm going to have to collect these global elite books. And so, in the past 5 years since you were on, what we've done over here on my end of things is 50 or so lectures based on the top global elite books. So we did, of course, the Quigley set. Then we branched out. We did Brzezinski, we did Ted Leary, we did Rockefeller, we've done Prito Capra, we've done Schwab, we've done all these different characters. And one thing that you start to notice when you go through about 50 of these is that there is a coordinated strategy, there is a coordinated plan. It's what Quigley's talking about, is the same continuity of agenda over this last, and it's longer than a century, but I just stick to the 20th century typically to make it simple. And it's what we see in those dystopian stories, like Brave New World, like 1984. It's the creation of this final revolution. Now, some of the key ones that I've gotten into would be, obviously the more obvious ones, like Between Two Ages, or the Rockefeller Rockefeller's biography, David's memoirs, these kinds of things. But there's always a gem or two that is obscure. So every time I've talked to you, you've always thrown out some really awesome gems that I don't know about, because this is a
all right, Ozzy. Yeah, I'm just focusing, bro. I have to get this shit done.
What are a couple that you think, like I always tell people, if you can get a hold of something like Miles Copeland's Game of Nations, that's a classic one, because people overlook that. They think, oh, he's just like a CIA operative. What's he going to say that's interesting? Well, he actually ends the book talking about how everything that they were doing in Syria and Egypt was to integrate it into the global order according to the plan of Bertrand Russell. So here you have this random CIA operative's narrative of what he was doing in his operations, and it's all part of the same plan. So what are a couple books, Rich, if you would, that you recommend that probably a lot of people don't know about?
Do you have a specific part of the spectrum in mind?
Anything that you think. Like, I'm just kind of looking at my shelf and I'm saying, probably a lot of people haven't read Game of Nations. Probably a lot of people didn't read Soldiers of Reason. Probably a lot of people didn't read, Kessler's Ghost in the Machine. Anything like that you think would be, like, if you were to say, like, what are the key, we know about Tragedy and Hope, we know about American Establishment. What do I need to be aware of?
All right, so what you need to be aware of is once upon a time, America fought against Britain, and we separated, and then they had a plan that they tried to take us back in 1812 and burn the White House, and that didn't work militarily. And then slowly, during the 1800s, they go and focus on subjugating India and China with the opium trade. And then they come back over here in the 20th century, and they refocus from Conan Doyle coming up with the idea and publishing it to Cecil Rhodes codifying it and leaving a last will and testament to fund, bringing America back into the British Empire and creating the Rhodes Scholars. And
let him do his magic.
Groups, like the Pilgrim Society was a legacy group.
I found how to do it faster, Birdie. You just squeeze it from the back.
They're all working groups in that same, what you're just saying.
It just pops out.
They
Look.
were playing something traditionally called the Great Game, and then that was with the German royal family, the Russian royal family, their
from the
cousins,
back,
basically. But then they wore them all out through World War I.
A lot faster,
no more
dude.
of them, so they got to get strong with their, ex-cousin or sibling.
Sometimes you have to tear the front.
However you want to describe it, America. That's the new Great Game.
That's
where guys
stuck.
like Miles Copeland come in, because he's part of the OSS turned CIA, and all they did was British intelligence led the Americans around by the nose, and they're like, here's how to do everything, and they were masters of spycraft, and they mastered that, not in the 20th century, but in the 1700s and 1800s with the East India Company, and the Rhodes Diamonds guys, and those types of kind of black market outside of the spectrum of fairness and law and jurisdiction. It was just pillage and plunder and slavery and those types of things, was giving them a lot of power behind the scenes. British people were fine with that. This happened in China. It's happening in India. It's happening in Africa, wherever this is going on. But the Copeland bunch, they start America really. So you can look at Rhodes's buddy Kipling in 1898, who writes The White Man's Burden and says America should be not isolationist and get into the Spanish-American War, which America did. So a similar thing happens 50 years later during World War II, where Copeland's part of this team, and he's one of the bridge guys of the Anglo-American establishment. He's like, I don't know if he was X2 on the American side, or if he was part of the double cross system on the British side, but they have I'll explain that infrastructure in a second. But basically what the British were getting us to do was go into these countries and do overthrows and learn how to do assassinations and replace the rulers, because they wanted us to become the new property managers of the British Empire, and they had to go around and show us how to do that. So we're in Afghanistan today. It's the longest war in American history. The British had a first, a second, and a third Anglo-Afghan war over there, man. They've been at it for a long time. Now we're just like the front lines. And you could even look at older monarchies behind the British, like the Dutch and some of the other ones in Northern Europe that have been around a little bit longer and had these things set up even earlier and kind of handed that power off to the British at some point. So there's a royalty layer that believes in, slavery and might makes right, and then there's a group of people around that support that historically, and it's multi-generational.
When I bake all this, it's gonna be
what you're talking about around
like
World War
this
II.
much.
One of the most important books and all that.
It's gonna be nothing, bro.
I'd start with Ian Fleming. This guy here.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Right? Let's see if I can get that zoomed out. Right, so then I got the double cross. This one you got to read. William Stevenson, about William Stevenson. So, a man called Intrepid, but but his name's William Stevenson, but it's not the same William Stevenson who's writing the book. So that one's a little confusing. But these are all the same thing. Double cross, the double cross system. The irregulars right here. This is one I just recommended, the Corbett, because this is the British spy ring in America. And they're doing assassinations. So when you get into how did OSS get created, how did CIA get created, and you get a whole bunch of documents, and some of these things say that like Ian Fleming helped to drop the blueprints for the CIA.
Hello, Tarveen.
And it was like
it's going, dude. It's going.
I know that Camp David used to be an assassination training camp. I know that Fleming and these guys went to Camp X, which was assassination training camp over the border in Canada. They were acting against Americans during wartime. So the special relationship and all that entails, the destroyers for bases, and basically in the 20s after World War I, they did a lot of changing our history books to make it more pro-British and British-friendly. And that was like the Hands Across America movement. And that's what the Pilgrim Society and those groups were trying to do to ameliorate themselves to America. And they changed their name to a Commonwealth. So it wasn't an empire anymore. They got this Commonwealth. And that was, I think, Lionel Curtis, Columbia
Lionel Curtis, exactly. The Commonwealth of God.
Yeah, exactly. So any of the books in that area that start to help illustrate, but the guy, William Stevenson, this guy here, he was the top British spy in America, running guys like Wild Bill Donovan. Yep. So the creation, and his name's probably not even really William Stevenson because he had a dark. So just like Wild Bill Donovan he had a whole bunch of different families and names, and he was a pretty out there dude. He wasn't your average human being going around doing that type of spycraft. Same thing with Stevenson, the man they called Intrepid. And they were housed in Rockefeller Center.
These are tomatillos.
So, like the
it's like a tomato, but
pushing us into war.
This is their color.
Yeah, for sure.
This is their size.
But the fact that the British were able
this just means that they're ripe as fuck. A little bit of purple on them.
They were tapping the
really nice, dude.
Cable back in the day, and all
They smell really fragrancy, very flower-like.
Reading on the Soviet system too, but that's all Western banker kind of created and funded too. So yeah, I know your buddy Mark does all that research on the Soviets, right?
Hackers is pretty solid on that. Three of the things he's translated to vindicate a lot of kind of what we would have suspected, a lot of the Quigley style analysis, which was that people like Victor Rothschild were playing both sides, the Soviets and British intelligence during that time period. People like Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, Robert Maxwell, playing both sides, being this kind of, middleman between both sides, trying to play both sides. That, of course, led probably to his demise, but his assassination.
Yeah, and I look at you're absolutely right. I have a video with Victor Rothschild because I have the book The Fifth Man by Roland. I forget his name. And one of my students asked if I had ever seen the interview with the author. And I was like, no, I haven't. So send it over. The Cambridge spy ring. I mean, just look at the fact that Kim Philby wasn't he's in charge of it, right? And they say he's a communist spy. But who was his dad? His dad was St. John or St. John Philby, who was embedded with the Arabs and went native. And so MI6 said that they had basically disavowed him and he was off the reservation. But I found pay stubs from after they said that while he's serving, and he's setting up Mujahideen in 1928 and he's setting up the Saudi royal family.
Right.
So, when Bin Laden comes around on 9/11 to attack America, and you understand Bin Laden, who were his teachers and where did he come from, and who are the family's business partners? There's way too many connections. I mean, direct connections, like his brothers with the ex-president on the day of. And,
yes, última bolsa, güey. Ya aquí, ya acabé con esta. El ajo, I'm gonna peel the garlic next.
Connections all over the place.
And then,
that's not
yeah, I'm just gonna get it ready for tomorrow. I'm just gonna set it up for tomorrow, so I just roast tomorrow. Go to bed after I do all that, though.
Detail and nuance, and it's so much more interesting and fascinating if you're not attached to thinking you already know how it happened. Because you need that genuine curiosity to learn.
Right. I remember, I think it was when I was reading Servando Gonzalez, the way he put it, once he put it like the CIA, OSS, that kind of a thing, if you understand them more like the private army of the banking families, it's a much better way to understand it. And it removes a lot of the mystique, right? Of James Bond's out there, saving the West from the commies and from Spectre and all this stuff. Now, if you understand rather that he's working for Spectre, it actually makes a lot more sense than the kind of, narratives that Hollywood gives, which was part of the psychological warfare and propaganda that Fleming was.
I think I'm gonna do like
successful and closely tied to Hollywood and all this was
like
that
a whole row,
helping to
a whole row, like 5 heads of
the super
garlic.
Spies, saving the West from the made up enemies all over the world, basically, which are, I mean, in a sense, at a level, yes, they are enemies, but the problem is that at a higher level, we just constantly seem to run into the fact that there are really, really wealthy people, fabulously wealthy people that seem to basically be beyond any kind of nation state or ideological commitments. And so in that way, they're able to play a bigger chessboard, right? If you're not ideologically committed or you don't have any ties to something like a nation or something like that, or to principles, then you're able to kind of play the game, the great game, in any way you want. So it's merely a power play, and that allows you to basically depart from any notion of ethics, any notion of right and wrong. And that's what leads to so much, I think, of the geopolitical degeneracy. But that's just the way of the world, right? That's the history of the world, unfortunately, in a fallen world. But I'm rambling, Richard. Let's get back to what you want. You've got something pulled up there. What is it?
I wanted to illustrate your point. You're saying that these guys who run MI6, a lot of times they're the front. The people who are running intelligence are front people for the bankers. So I at one point modeled out the history of MI6 and the various the people who ran it and what they did behind the scenes. And one of these guys.
Okay, let me zoom in on what you're showing there.
Yeah, maybe.
Go ahead.
I'm looking. I was trying to find a couple of them came directly from De Beers. So
The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
The diamond mining.
Yeah.
The roads.
Yeah, so I saw them.
Is Venus supposed to be out today?
De Beers.
Is that supposed to be a thing?
I saw him go from like
SB
working for
Nasty,
Sussex
what's up, dude?
Diamond mining company to running MI6, and I guess I have it. DE space. Let's try that. De Beers Diamonds. And
This
if I
is
pull it up,
Tomatillo, dude. Tomatillo.
I should see one of these guys. Maybe it was Merriman. Oh, Masterman. Oh, the guy who did the double cross committee. Let's see.
Okay.
Venus and something. I don't know.
Yeah, he worked for De Beers, the diamond company, at some point in his history. And maybe so did Percy Silitzo. So a couple of these guys who were running MI6, so I just went through all the directors, and you can get most of this still on Wikipedia just to get the history and dig into the primary sources, because they're all on British sites. But, yeah, so that's the gist of it. You start
Almost
asking the questions
done.
like, when was MI6 created? Who created it? Who have been the spy masters as they go through? And you were talking about the dystopian authors a little bit ago. So I wanted to
Right,
point
that's
out,
all done.
They, Malthus and Darwin
Sweet.
and T.H. Huxley back in the 1800s promoting this idea of eugenics and also technocracy, technopoly, right? That whole philosophy on biology is backed by the Fabian socialists because there's a lot of overlaps between those groups. And then as you're going through, you got, let's see, who is the oldest one? So T.H. Huxley was an acolyte of Darwin, and then T.H. Huxley mentored H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells mentored Aldous Huxley, and Aldous Huxley was a mentor at one point to George Orwell. So there is a chain of continuity between the Fabian socialists and H.G. Wells had said he was in the meetings, roundtable group meetings, things like that he says in his book, Experiment on Biography, or Autobiography, there's people like that, he talks about that stuff in there. So the Fabian socialists, the wolf in sheep clothing, that idea is still present today with Klaus Schwab, and the continuity of power that is led from the beginning of the 20th century all the way till now. There's the small finite planets. There's only so
Big
many
shit
people
ton of tomatillos right there.
And, they made themselves known to those who will look it up and read about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you on TV.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to 1970, and it's not Brzezinski that invents the idea of technocracy. As you know, this goes back to Plato. It goes back to the ancient Greeks. They had the idea of quantification and a kind of mathematical regimentation of all of society into these rigid.
Well, it's good to run armies. Look how the Romans built roads and did all that good civilizing around the world because they were able to figure out how to feed people on the road.
And then we come to the teens and 20s, and you've got the idea from kind of the St. Just, St. Simon, these different social theorists out of France, influenced by the Weishaupt and the communitarians and the communists, that we can basically technocraticize society, that it can be run in a truly rational way. And so then you get, of course, the ideas of
how long, dude? Until they turn almost so black, bro. Until they get really, really dark.
But into the 20s.
No, but Bentham, he worked for the East India Company, and so did Malthus. And
Caramel color, bro.
Company, the university.
But when we get to the 20s and 30s, that's when we start to have this idea of technocracy. Then we come up into the 70s, and what do you think it is about Brzezinski that really captures the imagination of David Rockefeller? David Rockefeller spots Brzezinski. He reads this book and he says, "Make this guy in charge of Trilateral Commission."
Oh, okay. All right. So there's an interesting lineage of all of that. Have you ever read the Sean Stone New World Order book?
I've not read Sean's book yet.
This thing?
So
All right. They're coming out with the second edition, and we're updating it for what's going on right now with Klaus Schwab. Because Klaus Schwab was a protege of Henry Kissinger. Okay? Yeah, right? At Harvard. So Henry Kissinger was he was Nelson's pick. And they found him kind of during after World War II, and he seemed to help them with paperclip and some of these ash can and dustbin projects and the other things going on over in Europe. So Kissinger got himself in, and Nelson Rockefeller was running Psychological Warfare Bureau, PWB, in Europe for World War II before, doing his other things after World War II. He was running psychological operations. So Kissinger gets in with him. David Rockefeller, mentored by Friedrich Hayek, and von Mises is brought to the United States by the Rockefeller Foundation, right? So David Rockefeller, he finds Brzezinski, and I'm pretty sure he finds him not from his book, but a couple of years earlier.
Oh, McGill. Where's that McGill?
At McGill, and then he did.
no, those are not onions. That's garlic. I'm gonna go get gloves though. This is gonna hurt.
And then as far as that goes, so a guy like Machiavelli is no different than a guy like Brzezinski. He says there's a power structure. How do I write something to serve those guys? What problem do they seek to solve? And how can I add to that? So they're trying to get close to power. So what Brzezinski says is he's got his Eastern European, Polish, Soviet kind of experience, and he sees the flaws in that type of communism and overt surveillance, and he's like, here's how we can do it bigger, better, without being so intrusive on a scale that Joseph Stalin and the Stasi never thought they could do. And he writes a series of books. There's Between Two Ages, and then there's the USA, USSR, and then there's there's The Choice. I got 5 or 6 of his books down here. But he's somebody's tool. He was always somebody's tool, and he's the guy in 1979 when Jimmy Carter says, "Let's hire the Mujahideen and train Osama bin Laden." Zbig's the one over there doing the deed. So between Kissinger and Zbigniew Brzezinski, the Rockefeller brothers had their front men who could always be present in all these meetings. Look how long Kissinger's made it through all these administrations, and people still listen. Mr. President, Mr. Kissinger, Mr. President. Yeah, so he's a fixture, and Quigley said that. He's like, no matter who's in the White House, the policy's not changing. These people have a goal, and he's not even saying that he, was against the goal. He just had an aversion to them keeping it secret because he knew if it wasn't secret, people could actually do something maybe against it.
Right.
So that was the struggle back in the day.
By the way, big night tonight, almost 600 live, which is really good for us. So if you would, be sure and smash that like button. Be sure to drop your super chats via Streamlabs. Of course, we don't have monetization anymore, but if you want to use super chats, you can still through Streamlabs there in the chat. All right,
so I got to use Streamlabs because I was on your stream last night and I was trying to do a super chat, and I'm like, it must just be me on this iPad because I couldn't figure it out. But
you have to click on the link, and then it pulls up a separate page, and then you put in your super chat on a separate Streamlabs page for me, and then it shows up in my Streamlabs OBS. So it's like one extra step process than the way it used to be, but at least Streamlabs doesn't take 30% like YouTube, so actually it's better in the long run.
That's good, yeah. I've never done the super chat on YouTube. I'm monetized, but I
these are the cups. I think I got the wrong lid, Pretty.
I still have that ability, but I don't use it. They're not looking to scan my stuff.
Right, that's a good point. Actually, I think it has been better to be demonetized because I've actually now I've made up for it now. The Streamlabs actually basically evens out with what Super Chest used to be. But anyway, let's talk about what would you say to this point about the steering committees, right? So this is something that a lot of people don't understand, and you're definitely knowledgeable in this area. These are modeled on these Royal Society type groups, Royal Institute for International Affairs, right? The different, it's the idea of the round table, right? Like the Knights of the Round Table, except that the wise men of the modern world now sit around these tables. I even have the book over there, The Wise Men, right?
I have it right here.
Yeah.
It's on that show. Walter Isaacson.
Yeah, this is the idea of these kind of the bloods and the brains, right? We've got the old money, we've got new money, and then we've got the brains that kind of plan the future.
Got the wrong lids.
They are so dead set on this technocratic plan. What do you think it was? Is it just because that's the best means of control? What got us from, nation states and kings and this kind of stuff to let's have an AI technocratic government that runs everything on the basis of austerity?
I think the idea of trying to control the world has been around for a long time, since like Alexander the Great and other dudes like that. So they have always been seeking to use technology and develop it not for our betterment, but to kind of control people. And then they show us like, oh, here's the good parts of your tracking device. But at the end of the day, it's like the stool pigeons from the Gulag Archipelago. And people who read Volume 3 understand what you got to do with those surveillance things, man. Like, you want to be free. So there's a way that, that we have developed tech. So, like, the example I would use is this. There's a popular documentary called The Social Dilemma. And in there, they talk to a bunch of former Silicon Valley executives who were big muckety-mucks and early on in those companies. They're all asked a question about what the problem is. Because they can name all the symptoms and how it's not good, but they don't know what the problem is. And so they're all left stumped.
Mario Pito Loco. Dude, I know. I already have lids. I had plenty of lids, but I'd like to have extra, and I got the wrong ones.
National security or whatever.
They didn't label it right at the store.
That knowledge gap, which is a power gap, which is an information gap, which is also a money gap, and that gap is how they control. So the more that we can do to be creative, inventive, use our innovation and ingenuity to make their systems obsolete instead of trying to fight their systems, I think we're going to be better off, and we're going to be more autonomous, we're going to be more self-reliant, we're going to be easier to work with, and it's going to be easier for us to communicate our needs to others peacefully without trying to take away their freedom.
One area where I was wrong in, say, 5 or 6 years ago was I was very skeptical of Bitcoin from the outset. And then about 2016, 2017, I totally changed my mind on the potential for Bitcoin and those kinds of assets. But I don't know actually your position. Do you have a take on Bitcoin? I mean, I know obviously anything like that could be used for evil blockchain technology. Klaus makes a big deal in his book out of blockchain. But I tend to think that given the way they're going with where they're going to take all this money printing, quantitative easing, it really only makes sense to have hedges like gold and Bitcoin. What do you think?
I've always been skeptical. I'm still skeptical now.
Okay.
So let me put it this way. In 1996, MIT published a paper called How to Make a Mint. It was about cryptocurrencies, NSA and MIT. They were basically calling for what...
Yeah, dude, I'm going to do Savoya. A lot of Savoya, like six to seven Savoya.
Who, what, where, when, why, and how of how that was created. Satoshi Nakamoto, man. See no more, right? It's like, it's there. You don't know who created it. 60% of it has never been transacted. Who's holding those wallets? So there's a whole lot about that system I don't understand, and when I tried to inquire into it, not a lot of answers. So I never built up trust in it, right? And I've known people that have been in Bitcoin since like it started pretty much, and there was a time in 2014 Bitcoin was like $100, and I had 2 of them. And so I sent my last 2 Bitcoins at that time to my buddy Drew Phillips, who makes t-shirts and bumper stickers. And I got some bumper stickers, 100 of each design. And now those bumper stickers are like worth $40,000. So when I send them to people who are fans of mine, they really appreciate, like, they get one of those pieces of my erroneous economic history. I have a little bit of Bitcoin now because some people pay for stuff over the years, and I don't really transact in it, but I don't have a Bitcoin. for sure. It's a fraction of a Bitcoin, and I don't really keep track of that at all.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what your take on it was. It was just an area where, initially, I think I wrote an essay back in 2015 where I was really skeptical of it, and then over time, I got playing with it, testing it, playing around, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was skeptical, but I also played with it. I had a couple different wallets. I heard horror stories from people who got ripped off, who lost their wallets, those sort of things. And I never had that much flown around to worry about or deal with. So I experimented. I bought a couple things, and I don't know what the price is at now, but I know a couple weeks ago it was up near 20.
Yeah, today was the all-time high. It's 21.5 today. But maybe briefly, I know we're a little bit off track, but you're such a well-rounded, knowledgeable dude. I hate to bypass some of the more basics for the audience, but what would you say to people who ask you, Richard, you do talk a lot about economics and economic theory and education. Why are we so miseducated on economics, and what is the problem what are the basic problems with the fiat system that we have?
Well, one of the problems is that we graduate schooling without knowing how to balance a checkbook, what money is, and you would learn about money from reading a book like The Lost Science of Money, which was 26 case studies of money through history, and then you can see kind of how we're using it today and how it's pieces of these other things plus some new stuff they just made up and threw in there. And so there's a misunderstanding of what money is, what money can do. Some people think that money is the root of all evil, and I think it's the properly
What the fuck was I doing?
love of money. Right?
Anyways.
Money alone would be the root of all evil for sure, and there are people like that out there. But most people I know, they're struggling for money. They need to keep a roof over their head, keep their kids fed. These are more challenging times than ever. And so I think it is a useful, life-giving tool in many situations, and people should know how to go make an offer to the
I usually
market,
do that when I don't have gloves, but I have gloves, so I don't need to do that.
Skills or barter their skills through activism or something like that, and to find a way to meet their needs so that they can go forward. So from there, the fiat currency system happened. They really took us off the gold standard, off the standard in 1913 with the Federal Reserve, because Congress has in the Constitution, Congress can coin money, but they don't have the ability to print money. They certainly can't outsource this to a private group of bankers who legitimately conspired, hid their identities because they were doing wrong, and changed the shape and made a nation. And then from there, you've got a fractional reserve lending that goes in there. And, the fiat money is by law. Fiat means by law. And it's not necessarily nomisma, as the Greeks called it, or some sort of store of
There's that song.
Store of value over time, like precious metals have traditionally been. And today what they want is Bank for International Settlements has a new cryptocurrency for central banks. And where they're going with all this is that they want to make it illegal for you to own encryption keys or have direct access to any of this stuff. And they now want to broker all this stuff that was meant to make people free and independent. They've slowly crept in, and they've got their own coins, their own blockchain, these sort of things. So at the same time that there's people using blockchain to track inventory and do all these sorts of things because it's public ledger technology,
Right.
there's other groups that are seeking to, let's make everything digital and get rid of cash. And I think that's one of the many fallacies that Klaus has in his book.
Yeah,
one of them
exactly.
is that he thinks the answer is a digital cryptocurrency, and yet at the same time he's saying, "Oh, the internet is so dangerous, and it's so easy for terrorists." And the World Economic Forum is running a newer exercise called Cyber Polygon, which would be like a dark winter if they took out the grid and the internet and cut people off. Because unlike you and me, we have books. We understand. If we had to read our books, we're cool. Without the internet, we could learn about the world and interact with it. But most people don't know. They wouldn't know where to start if they were cut off from the internet. And so arguing that the internet's cryptocurrency is a solution, but the internet's not a tenable resource, it's that doesn't make sense. He says globalism has failed, and yet globalism is the solution. He offers kind of a false trilemma in there. He's got some fallacies. He says that during the lockdowns, carbon dioxide did not decrease from people being home and locked in. So that means us driving our cars, us doing whatever is not the problem. It's big industry, it's militaries, it's those type of entities that never shut down during the lockdowns, right? So they're basically saying we're going to have to lock down harder when, that's not the solution to that either. And by the way, plants love carbon dioxide. They love it. They eat it up.
Yeah, I saw this largely as economic warfare. I did a video some months ago when Karanka was new, and my video was just talking about it being a form of economic warfare. I mean, there's other things that go along with it, psychological warfare, conditioning, getting you to go along to submitting to all the most ridiculous things they say. That's part of the thing in 1984, right? Doesn't Smith make Winston do ridiculous things?
Yeah, and that's what they want. They want people to LARP. They want you to live action role play, which is the bear false witness. They and that's how they break. If you go back to like Richard Condon's Manchurian Candidate, where they're doing brainwashing in North Korea, that's how they start, and that's how they did a dude like John McCain. They get you to sign a piece of paper that is 99% true, but has one lie in there, and instead of getting beat, you'll just sign that. And then the next day, now a paragraph is false, but you'll still do that. And then they'll have you singing whatever song they want you to, because it's a series of incremental steps, and that's what they do. That's what advertisers on those big corporate media channels depend on. If they pay a bunch of money to shape the news like this, they'll shape your behavior slowly over time, right? And that's essentially what it is. Those people pay for those channels, those advertisers, because they want control of those audiences, and they play those audiences like fools. It's not a respectful, loving relationship, nurturing, or anything like that.
Now, a big thing that comes up in the Global Elite book series is MK Ultra. Maybe not so much from the primary documents, although it does come up in some of the writings of the elite here and there. They're kind of reference it. I think that it played a pretty big role, obviously, in social engineering, things like that. But again, because you're such a kind of broad mind, Renaissance type of dude, how would you characterize the relevance of MK Ultra if somebody just asked you at kind of a basic level?
In the 1800s, they didn't have a real strong understanding of how human beings work. And then by the end of the 1800s, they start to develop the behavioral conditioning techniques of Pavlov, going into the 20s with Skinner and Watson. And by the 30s, these eugenics, Fabian socialist people, they got some ideas. They want to do some experiments. They want to learn more, but they have boundaries. So they experiment ideas from Cold Spring Harbor, Long Island, make their way over to a young Adolf Hitler and his group of National Socialists, where these Western bankers are pouring in money. That's why we had a Great Depression here. American finance is going over there. Why? Because their economy got crushed after the Treaty of Versailles and these penalties, so it was really easy to go in and buy all the infrastructure, right? So they have armaments, they have arming with philosophy and
You found the song?
eugenic knowledge.
Someone says, Birdie, do you know this song, El Burrito de Belén?
Those people who funded those projects, they bring it back.
You're gonna go stream mañana when you see. Tomorrow I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna stream when I roast everything and I get everything ready. But this is the hard part, so I'm trying to take this out as fast as possible.
By the way, shout out to you for promoting that, and my buddy Tristan, who he read that book. He got really deep into it. He got me hip to that, but that came from you. So shout out to you for that.
I'm giving a shout out to Kevin Cole because he told John Taylor Gatto about that in between taping of the Ultimate History lesson, and that's where I learned about it. I was like, I gotta get that. But it just shows how the Rockefeller family is. Molecular biology is a very respectable industry today. That's where you get mRNA viruses, all these, vaccines, these things that they're doing. It's all in that same line of development. And Thomas Watson, who ran IBM, he was a eugenicist. He was a buddy of Hitler. He came up with those logarithm numbers that they put on the Jews. And that was an inventory system, so you can process them through the computer with their little punch cards. Edwin Black wrote IBM and the Holocaust book. There's another one with it. But basically, this is very well known that eugenics and technocracy were kind of joined back then. And the way that Neil Postman writes it, technopoly is totalitarian technocracy. So when it's not just tech, it's like these people are in control and they're not asking anymore. They're just in control. So that's what he coined in his book Technopoly, which was like 1992, because he kind of saw these things. He also wrote Using Ourselves to Death. He's a brilliant writer. So the idea of Technopoly, it fits right in with the idea of eugenics and race purification. They still promote today. There's a long chain that led to Bill Gates his interests
speaking image of man, not just man's view of himself, but the external world, and then literally to kind of rewrite the external world. And that's really where Klaus takes us. Now, there have been some recent global elite books that talk about this kind of stuff. Brief History of the Future by Jacques Attali. We did a whole talk on that. And he wrote that back in 2006. And, I remember even a couple of years ago, if you talked about the kind of stuff that Klaus put in for the Fourth Industrial Revolution, it was pure crazy conspiracy theory still, even 2 or 3 years ago. But it was already in, Brief History of the Future by Attali, The Kiss of Your Friends, right? All there, everything, even to the brain, even to everything, to the matrix, even to everything being controlled by a central AI. But that's still just theory. No, it's not theory. It's actually what and it's been. And then we got this big confirmation with our buddy Klaus. You have done a deep dive into Klaus. I want to give you the floor. What do we need to know about Klaus?
Alright, Klaus Schwab's an interesting character. He's like a professional academic his whole life. He got married in around 1971. In the same year, he created the World Economic Forum. And a couple of years later, they start calling it Davos. They have a manifesto. They have a von Habsburg. They have a former SS officer, Prince Verde of the Netherlands. Yeah, and then they have Aurelio Pache, who created the Limits to Growth of the Club of Rome, which was the original population control document that led to UNSED and Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. And Klaus says in the Reset book that if they don't use this crisis now to push through carbon and all this other stuff, they might not get it through. It's like they're using it to jumpstart things that were dead. Like vaccines had a huge. There was protests against vaccine in Connecticut before the COVID kicked off because they were trying to take away religious exemptions and they were trying to make it mandatory. And so there was already a whole bunch of pushback. And people would want some lawsuits that were very damning. So the CDC, the WHO were on the ropes. The UN group was on the ropes before COVID. Globalism had failed. Carbon, this wasn't all going to work out. But somehow with COVID, all these other things is making their dream, wish list, and Santa Claus list come true. And they're able to kick the ball through the uprights, no problem. And everybody's in lockstep with this whole thing. And there's a long history behind those Rockefeller Foundation scenarios that they write up and these sort of things. Klaus, he's run a group of, it's a network of world corporations. It's like the front end of the New World Order, all those big corporations that are on board with the manifesto that they have. And it's about transhumanism, technopoly, and total tyranny. It's not independent people having rights. It's not people working freely with each other or voluntarily. It's, nobody's going to be allowed to eat meat. You can have meat once a year, these sort of things. They will own nothing by 2030. Well, I got a problem with that. If you don't own your body, you can't have property, and you are property, historically speaking.
Somebody owns you, right?
Yeah, and somebody's going to own stuff. I guarantee it. That's how it is in all those dystopian books. Whether it's O'Brien or who's the guy in Brave New World. Yeah. They have access to everything. They got the art, they got the psychedelics, they got whatever, but those you can't have those as the real people, the individual people. They're gonna think that Big Brother is real, and Manuel Goldstein, all these sort of things. So yeah, there's always been a divide between the elites, and the internet was like the opportunity to really level the playing field. And I think right now they've artificially moved their goals 10 years forward. So the things that they had planned by doing 2030, they're trying to slam those things in right now because they also know there's a growing resistance, and that by coming out and decloaking a little early. But I think it's just like General Veers when he came out.
He's chopping garlic. That's right, man.
Planet of Hoth and the rebels,
I'm back. What are you doing?
It doesn't work out so well. The rebels escape, and I think we can do that.
Yo, sup, man? What up, Panda? Making a southwestern stew. Need to chop this garlic up, bro.
Have indelible print on the web.
Need more than that.
Yeah, if they can't have censorship, then they can't propagandize effectively. So they censored for a couple of years since the last election. They censored everybody who would have any type of dissent, and now they can propagandize, and people believe it. And they had a plan, and they're doing pretty well at it, but game ain't over yet.
Now, there's a great chapter. I want everybody, if you're not familiar with this book, the Vincent Davis memoirs, and one of the most multiple, very telling chapters.
505.
the China chapter is very telling because you get the impression that David knew all along that this was really kind of a dialectic, and that's why later on in chapter 27 he says that the communist menace wasn't that much of a menace. That's what he says. Now, why would he say that? I thought we were, weren't the Rockefellers involved in all these cold? Yeah, because it's a scam, right? Now,
yeah, they could fly into Russia anytime they wanted. Arm & Hammer, all these big industrialists from the New World Order could fly back and forth. They knew they propped up Papa Joe Stalin like he was like FDR, and he had committed some real atrocities by that time in 1945 at the Yalta Conference and those types of things. Like the Death by Starvation campaign that if people know about the Holocaust, you should know about the Holodomor, where he starved like 39 million people died death by starvation, which is the most disgusting and dishonorable way that people could die. It's like, it's awful.
well, then you get what's your take on quickly discusses when Stalin rejects the Marshall Plan aid, this goes on, okay? And that is the official, dating of the Cold War. Have you read those, by the way? Are you familiar with that Wim Hof book that's pretty recent?
No.
Oh, you should get this. This is when you'll want. It's Time Life magazine, John Courtney Murray, and the American Proposition. It's about how the CIA was buying off. He's a famous,
Bro, get a chair and a pillow. Bro, get a chair and a pillow.
But he's basically just analyzing.
He's gonna be there for 2 more hours.
With the CIA,
I know, dude.
And the Jesuits in Vatican II, and then
I'm getting tired, but I gotta finish this.
The Jesuits and the Americanist arm of basically to make the Roman Catholic Church to promote this global Americanism is what happened in Vatican II. John Courtney Murray was the point man for the elite to do that. He was more or less co-opted by the CIA to do that.
Who was this?
David Wim Hof, W-E-M-H.
David Wim Hof.
It's an excellent book. Very, very important for the whole elite stuff.
Avery Foster Dulles became a cardinal for the Vatican, and John Foster ran the World Council of Churches. And there was there's a whole bunch of while Bill Donovan worked with the Vatican, there was a whole bunch of those guys, for sure.
Now, what basically Wim Hof gets at is that the Rockefellers, and Brzezinski mentions it too, in Between Two Ages, that the idea was that we need to commandeer that church because of its numbers, because of its size. The best way to do that is to capture the mind of their intellectuals. And of course, amongst Roman Catholics, Jesuits have the most training. So the idea was to basically just kind of buy them off as best they could and influence them. And
then you had Pope John I, who dies kind of suspiciously. You had Roberto Calvi, and
that relates to
that whole bank.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
that's CIA and MI6 and Mossad all over it. There's no one else involved.
Now, the reason I'm bringing up David is because David, in this amazing chapter, links all these things. He's even going to mention Opus Dei, right? Now, he starts by talking about that he's a proud internationalist, right? He says that I'm a proud internationalist. I don't care. Yes, the conspiracy theorists say that I want international government, and yes, I do. I'm proud of it. He says anybody who opposes me is a populist. He says I had no problem meeting with Castro, meeting with these big international organizations. We want there to be the extreme in my view, they want to extend Americanism for a time period. And then I kind of think that what they wanted to do was, in a way, like that third way, they wanted to take the worst aspects of Western monopoly capitalism and the worst aspects of surveillance Soviet communism, smash them together in a dialectic, and then together this great reset seems to me to be a movement towards this third way world order. Is that what you think?
Yeah, and when you look at it, the history fleshes out how the robber barons who divided the railroad infrastructure in Europe and in America, they get done. They get done at a certain point, and they go over and they outfit Russia, pre-Soviet Union.
How much do you want to bet?
Pre-communist revolution there.
I don't know,
so the
man.
Western industrialists are behind those two communist experiments, and the purpose always was, this is how they're eventually going to take over America. They can have this other that they control and influence from behind the scenes and have, there's a whole lot of information to that. Right down to Kim Philby.
That's right. By the way, did you remember?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, let me stop real quick because I just remembered. There's a section where Russell, he talks about the Bolshevik and other socialist experiments, that they're experiments to see if they worked, which has always led me to just kind of suspect that, what were they just doing, like simulations with? I mean, it was real.
Yeah.
But to see what would be the best method.
That's what they did with the Nazis. That was National Socialism. The Russians are international communism,
Yes, right.
and the Chinese are a mix of communism and capitalism. And they have slave labor, but they have like capitalism at the top, but they have communism for everyone else, and it's like another experiment. And the idea was you surround America with these types, and then you can change our attitudes, values, behaviors, and beliefs through the schooling system, generation by generation. And they did that, and that's what Charlotte Iserbyt and Porter Sargent and John Taylor Gatto and a whole bunch of people pointed out slowly over time. They definitely didn't. You check the documents, like the Rockefeller Foundation, what they did in the 50s, and they were going back then with the Ford Foundation, like they're in with the Vatican and inclusive capitalism right now, the Rothschild family. So they've all they said we're working, here's the agenda, and they just hope that they have enough wind in their sails that they can just get to the finish line without any opposition.
Yeah, it's a historical fact. The Rothschilds have been the papal bankers since the 1700s. That's public encyclopedia knowledge. Now, just to kind of recap everything that Richard's been talking about, in the section where David is talking about the CFR, he mentions his connections with the Dulles. By the way, David used to be in intelligence. He did intelligence work. He says at the beginning of this book, oh, yes, that's how I formed all of my powerful connections, was back when I was an intelligence asset. That allowed me to know everybody, and then I could basically...
And Allen Dulles was Nelson Rockefeller's attorney that helped him invest in the Nazis and helped him smuggle Nazis. And Nixon went to Dulles and said, hey, I know your guy is helping the Nazis. The next thing you know, Dulles is helping Nixon go for president.
Well, and it's
Vice
interesting because
president.
David basically... He basically just kind of hand waves all these ideologies in this chapter, and it's like Nazi, communist. It doesn't really matter to us. Like,
He's funded them all.
yeah, exactly. We don't
all of
care,
them.
right? But what's that?
Yeah.
You've seen Quantum of Solace, right? That
Yeah.
Not that it's not the best Bond film, but it's very revelatory because the Mr. Green character is like, we don't care who we work with. We'll work with the Nazi. We'll work with the communists, the socialists, the capitalists, whoever, as long as they do what we want. Now, this is the chapter, by the way, where David talks about Bilderberg. And he says, yes, absolutely. I've always been involved in Bilderberg. Bilderberg was, from the outset, connected to Prince Bernhard. This is page 411. Etienne d'Avignon, all of these different elites of the Eurosphere. And he says that we helped set that up. There were people from Opus Dei. He mentions people from the Vatican involved on page 413, he says. So what we're talking about is not crazy conspiracy material. It's literally in, David's chapter on this stuff. It's not that hard to figure out. A lot of people won't go and read this stuff, but just to kind of make it all come back to what we've been talking about with gold and a standard of money that's solid. David says on page 417, he says that it was time we saw in the 70s for a new economic world order. And this is, so he says 1974. Now, that's a couple years after what? Leaving the gold standard, right? So we enter into this fiat situation, and that's where David is saying, yes, this is a new global economic order. We're going to move out of a currency that's attached to something with limitations and meaning, and now we're going to transition into this the dollar as a global standard that's fiat, which is crazy. Now we're in the situation where we're giant. I don't know what the debt was in the 70s, but I'm sure it wasn't what it is now, right? But that's the thing, and that's the thing that Quigley talks about.
We have an earthquake. What?
No, actually, it's the chapter on FDR. That was one of the most enlightening chapters where Quigley says that they had figured out that you can do this two-step move every decade or so, the elite bankers, where on the one hand you move things towards privatization and freedom, and that allows the economic energy and surplus and profit to open up for 10 years. Then you can move the market into, then you step it over into communism, and that transfers the wealth to the centralized elite. And so you do this two-step move back and forth, bust, boom, cycle. And he says it's manipulated and engineered.
Yeah, it's like pistons firing in an engine, and it's like sowing seed and then reaping harvest, and that's what they're using people for, basically. They're tricking people out of their life, in ways that people can't even imagine, because you spent 15,000 hours forgetting all the stuff that you knew when you were 5 and would have naturally flourished had you not been indoctrinated.
Well, and so you're born into debt slavery. Right? Everybody's born into this gigantic debt slave system. The things that you're told, as you pointed out with all your economics and education material, is that you're a slave, and then you're taught to be more of a slave. Then you're taught to get $200,000 into school debt, all of which is totally retarded and nonsensical.
Yeah. And they want you to not ever have a chance to make your own decisions, have the opportunity to say yes to the things you want, say no to the things you don't want. And a lot of times it deals with knowledge and having money on hand to do those things. So it's a combination. And if you can apply your knowledge to provide value to other people, they will gladly exchange Federal Reserve notes, food, whatever you need, housing. If you're helping to solve big problems, people pay money for two things. If you want to talk economics, they pay for results they want and don't have, and they pay to get rid of problems they have and don't want. So if you can just figure out what's my value, what's my offer, and do business with the world, you don't need a boss. You don't need the employee paycheck, golden handcuffs relationship. You can have upward mobility. And being able to put together an offer and a marketing plan to take care of whatever bills on your desk is a lot easier than saying, I got to get a third job. How am I going to work more? You can't get that from that. You can't get there from here. So you have to be able to change up your tactics and outgrow those types of problems that they're throwing at everybody right now. They're trying to get rid of small business. And that's the lifeblood of freedom. So if we can help small businesses stay in business and help people who are employed and, not, losing everything to the state, because they're going to come along. The IMF's going to come along, I'm pretty sure. They're going to say, Jay, we're going to pay your debts. You got to take this shot. You got to sign up to your immunity system on subscription and come back to us for the rest of your life. But if you have a little money sitting there and you can say, no, thank you, please, maybe you got different options than the early adopters who are likely not going to get something they like.
By the way, shout out to the 726 live viewers that we have tonight with our good buddy Richard Grove, the excellent researcher, documentary film producer, author, and more. You can find his work at trevorlove.com. I wanted to blow your mind here, perhaps you already know this, you're an astute man, but my buddy John hit me to this obscure text that is a bunch of creeper weirdos from the late 70s, early 80s, including Carl Rogers, Jonas Salk, Tim Leary, Willis Harmon, we know from the Adventures of Man fame, Marilyn Ferguson, and many, many more weirdos. And there was this amazing chapter in this goofy 80s. You see this?
Yeah, dude, that looks like you're great. Did you do the graphics for that cover?
I did the rainbow flag was done by me. This 1981 book, and there's an amazing chapter from Willis Harmon where he says, in the future, after we move past the boomer Protestant work ethic into the new ethic of today, and I'm mentioning this new ethic because this new ethic is going to be important for the first few chapters of Klaus's book, but our friend Willis says we're going to move into a new ethic where, get this, he wrote this in 1981, he says there will be essential and non-essential workers. He says the essential workers will be determined by a centralized managerial, medical kind of technocratic, insurance-based tyranny group. They will decide who's essential and not essential in society. The non-essential people will be put on a universal basic income. And he says they will work from home. They will have tiny houses. There will be austerity and collectivism. Yes. And he says it'll be like the Middle Ages when you were a serf. I mean,
it'll be worse. They had no surveillance. Well, they didn't have the surveillance, and back then you just planted the food and harvest the food. The rest of the time was pretty much yours.
He says actually, we'll use Maslow's techniques, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, all that behaviorist conditioning. He says there'll be a new eco-ethic. Now, so that's 1981. Willis Harmon, the guy who did Changing Business. Fast forward to Klaus's book here, Shaping Fourth Industrial. First 4 or 5 chapters, what does Klaus say? We have a new covenant, a new ethic, a new eco-ethic. So let's get to
is Harmon. I'm going to look up, see if Harmon's in the index while you read that.
Right, so Klaus starts off by telling us, as you've heard me cover many times, we're going to have fair technology. Now, always be warned, whenever you hear Bill Gates talking about what's fair is, of course,
what Microsoft's AI computers have determined through their new algorithms that I posted. We determined that the new algorithms have decided that basically all human beings should be converted into flesh machines. They should be made into flesh that will go into making my New Balance sneakers. So basically, you're going to be the flesh around that encases Bill Gates' beautiful feet as you are ground up to become ground up to become his New Balance.
It's worse. He's making us into cryptocurrency. He's mining cryptocurrency out of human beings.
That's right. He says you're going to have to wear a suit
patent.
that your body mod stuff like mines the cryptocurrency. Isn't that what he said?
I don't. So what I saw was the patent from June of 2019, and it says in there there'll be a biological proof of labor. So when Klaus says at the appendix of Fourth Industrial Revolution that there'll be internalized technology, like pre-COVID, he said you'd have a cell phone in your body by 2025. Yeah, with COVID, it's going to happen that much faster. So I read his books like before, right? So they're going to expedite all this stuff. That's what Neuralink is, basically like a cell phone. And so these things that they have wished to have done for a long time, and he even says, they state that, like, here's the good things and bad things. And the good things, I don't believe them, and the bad things, that's understating them. So, yeah, I mean, they aren't happy with creation. They don't think nature is good enough. Even though they don't understand nature, they're going to improve nature. And that's how I think we got in COVID in the first place. When you follow their research funding and you follow the people that wrote the fake Lancet article in January that just got caught, like, why would you fake that information so upfront if it wasn't a smoke screen? And that was, it was called EcoHealth. This guy, Peter Daszak, he wrote an article in January and attributed it to 27 scientists, and it got published in the British Journal The Lancet, saying anyone who says there might be a lab origin to COVID is a conspiracy theorist, and there's nothing to see here. But then you find out that from a FOIA that he wrote that, not the scientists, that he was logically the first place to investigate because his group took the NIH money from Fauci and did the lab to work at Wuhan on the coronavirus that was specifically like what leaked out. So there is a lot of smoke. That might be a smoking gun, but yeah, we'll see where that goes.
Now, as Klaus goes into describing this new ethic, the new green eco ethic, he says we're going to have to inculcate a new value system for children as they're brainwashed.
What up, dude?
Investing, when people go to invest, they're going to have this new ethic in how they invest. We're going to organize culture. And this will involve everybody's decision making. I was just wondering, do you think that this is this inclusive capitalism that Klaus is talking about here, where he talks about the new ethic of how we're going to even invest, how the monetary class, the class that has some wealth, how they're going to view themselves is going to be centered around this new eco ethic? Is that, how would you describe this phrase we're hearing now, inclusive capitalism, that's now including the Vatican?
Well, the Inclusive Capitalism Gang, they got together in 2013, made themselves known. It was E.L. Rothschild, Lynn Rothschild, Christine Lagarde from IMF, Prince Charles, and they said that they had 1/3 of the world's investable wealth in one room. So they said poverty is a problem, and we rich people should change the world to take care of poverty, so it's not a problem.
Well, if you
anymore.
get rid of people, there won't be poor people. That's the logic. Right?
Or if you just get rid of all the poor people and leave only the rich people, that's kind of what their plans also.
Yeah, we want poverty, right?
Yeah, it kind of went underground for a while. You didn't hear much about it, but when Klaus had this Fourth Industrial Revolution and shaping the Fourth Industrial Revolution idea already. And this is basically like Agenda 21 and technopoly wrapped together with transhumanism.
Right.
And then with COVID, they rebranded that, the Great Reset, which they were already looking to do, and they just said now's a good time to do it. And they slapped that book together in June 2020, allegedly. And then they release it in July. And then they say, oh, we just created all this stuff because of COVID, but you can follow the paperwork back. Like, I have the World Economic Forum the first 40 years, building an international institution for public-private cooperation. Like, they've been working on this, Klaus. So he's not
dude, I'm done.
Somebody's lackey, like a worker.
Oh, that was a lot.
He's not a drug He's useful in just like a facilitator, Redfield, of those people that want to make that power. Like, I will host a meeting at a ski resort. It was a good idea if you're on that side. Bilderberg is named after.
So tomorrow it's just Chile, Poblano. I'm going to cut them in half. We're gonna put them in a sheet tray, and we're gonna throw them in the. We're gonna throw them in the oven. We're gonna roast them. We're gonna blend them. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it good. I have to cut the meat tomorrow, so tomorrow's a new day, bro. Tomorrow's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna jump on PUBG or Call of Duty or something right now. It's time to go to bed. It's pretty soon, guys. I'll be back in a bit.
So that everything can be integrated. We're talking about Internet of Things. We're talking dates like 2030, 2050.
Okay.
Internet of Things
That's how we
will
do it.
through